So in the last class, there was some technical or network issue. So we read that in any kind of bioreactor, fluid which you have read in Unit 1, Unit 2, you will deal with some kind of non-Newtonian or Newtonian fluid. Okay, one question. Can anyone tell air is the Newtonian and non-Newtonian? Anyone please can tell air is Newtonian or non-Newtonian?
Newtonian.
Correct. And water? And
Sorry,
water.
Newtonian.
Correct. Correct. Just keep in your mind, if somebody will ask, give me the example of Newtonian fluid, just keep in your mind, there is water, W-A-T-E-R, water, and your air, A-I-R. Both are comes into category of Newtonian fluid. Just keep in your mind. If you're talking about non-Newtonian, just tell everything, whatever you like, means suspension of any suspension of any kind of solution, sugar solution, starch solution, your any kind of muddy kind of thing, means sludge solution, each and everything is comes into category of non-Newtonian flow. Okay, but if you are talking about Newtonian flow, Newtonian fluid, one is water and your air. Okay. Okay, in the heat transfer, when this is your bioreactor, and why the heat transfer comes into the picture, when you are dealing with liquid fluid mechanics comes. But when you want to maintain the temperature, because in the last class we discussed that to grow a kind of cell, any kind of cell, you need a particular temperature, then only it will grow in size, grow in numbers. How it is growing, as I already told, they will consume some of carbon compound like glucose, sucrose, any kind of carbon source it will consume, and they will bigger in size and they will increase in number as well. Due to that reason, when you will add little bit amount of microbe at the initial time, after 6 to 4 days or 5 to 10 days, each solution will become turbid. Turbid means hazy solution. If you will determine your DO, dissolved oxygen, or OD, optical density, not DO, OD, optical density, by using UV equipment. If you will do UV analysis, means what UV does, UV cross a particular wavelength through a particular medium, means medium will be your liquid solution, then it will give some kind of wavelength. At that particular point, this particular wavelength will determine that there will be the increase in turbidity or decrease in turbidity. But definitely, when your microbe will grow, your OD will enhance, because it will show that there is the generation of some kind of microbe or the microorganism. Okay, to grow that microorganism, what you have to do, you will have to maintain the temperature. For maintaining the temperature, as I already told, in literature, I found that 60 is near about optimum temperature to grow your cells, to grow different kind of your microorganisms. Okay, this is the maximum temperature, maximum I'm talking about. But in literature, if you'll see, for production of the biodiesel, generally people use near about 40 to 45 and max 50, but I have never found more than 60. Okay, so your microorganism, as you are already claiming that this is the living cell, like your body cannot sustain more than 60, and 50 it is also very high. So similar kind of nature it is also showing by microbe. Two, for maintaining the temperature, what people do, if somebody will ask, if you want to maintain the temperature in your liquid system, what you will do? Generally people apply some kind of jacket, water circulating jacket. What you will do, you will maintain a particular temperature, like your microorganism grows at 35-degree temperature, and it shows at this particular temperature at the higher growth rate. What you will do, you will maintain this temperature by applying some kind of water jacket, okay, through around your reactor, around the reactor. Okay, similar kind of thing, but there is 2 to 3 things. When you will circulate your water, what will happen? You will heat or you will cool down, whatever it will be depend on your reaction system. If it is 45, leave it, take as 45, means you are increasing the temperature into your reaction system. Okay, around the surface of the solid body, this is your pipe, correct? Around the surface there will be conduction term will comes into the picture. Okay, in the material, inside the material, I'm talking about inside the material. Inside the material means your thickness of the tube or thickness of the pipe that here you are using for circulation. Thickness, it may be 0.5 mm or it may be 1 mm. It will be depend on your pipe size of the pipe. Okay, how much is the that material thickness? Okay, here will be conduction will happen. As I already told, conduction occur at that place where no any kind of, means there should not be any kind of flow. There should not be any kind of flow. So your material, that the material which will be fixed, material thickness will be fixed throughout the whole that circulating this coil. Now, after that, convection will occur. How convection will occur? That heat will transfer from your pipe surface to into the liquid. Now have a look, liquid which is flowing at that particular point, convection will occur. Now you have got where the conduction and convection comes into your that bioreactor. Okay, in the solid body where the fluid is, means your material, sorry, the thickness of that coil, thickness of your that this pipe, where conduction will occur, but inside the tube, just give me, just keep that this is your the thickness, that the thickness, this I am talking about here. This is the thickness of your pipe. This is thickness of your pipe. Okay, and here liquid will flow from here to here and here. Then around this particular zone, I'm talking about this pipe, this particular surface, here conduction will occur. I'm saying conduction. Okay, conduction will occur, but when any kind of liquid will flow, convection will occur. Means after that, here the convection will occur. Okay, now where radiation will come, after that what will happen? As I already told, that based on your Kirchhoff's law, based on your all other theories, what they are claiming, if you have any kind of body, if it has some kind of energy in terms of heat, definitely it will liberate or deliver or it will emit heat around your atmosphere. Means whatever atmosphere around this pipe, here will be radiation will occur. Okay, have you got the idea? Means in one equipment, in one bioreactor, each and everything happening inside the reactor. Okay, so you have got an idea that where conduction, convection and radiation comes into the picture. Now first of all, what is the heat transfer? Heat transfer is thermal energies in transit due to special, means three-dimensional temperature difference. Okay, there is only the three mode of the generation, three mode of the heat transfer. One is the conduction, convection and the radiation. And the one is the, if somebody will ask what is the difference, there is a lot of difference. Like here, you need some kind of contact. If one material will strike on another material, then only conduction will occur. Means it needs some kind of contact, one material to another material, like a liquid, like any kind of solid which is not flowing. Okay, just keep in your mind. And the second, convection, means there will be some kind of flowing kind of thing. Okay, in the radiation, it does not require any kind of contact. That sunlight coming from sun to earth without any medium, without anything, same thing occur in the radiation. Okay, each and every body which have the higher temperature like 80-degree temperature, definitely it will emit heat around the atmosphere. Okay. Now when the temperature gradient exists in the stationary medium, it may be your liquid, solid, gas, anything. We use the term called as the conduction to refer to the heat transfer that will occur across the medium. Okay. Now the term convection. The convection refer to the heat transfer that will occur between the surface and the moving fluid. Okay, one should be in moving condition. Now you can see here is the example. This is your heated body, T1 is higher than T2, then only heat will flow in this direction. Then only heat will flow in this direction. The convection, this is your stagnant plate or a stationary plate. What will happen? When the liquid will flow from this direction, at that particular surface, heat will liberate. Here, surface temperature of your pipe, of your coil, anything, it is higher than the ambient temperature. And here will be your moving fluid or moving air, any kind of thing that can be happen. So here the convection will occur. Now come to the radiation. Radiation means the third mode of heat transfer in thermal radiation. All the surface of the finite temperature emit energy in the form of electromagnetic wave. Hence, in the absence of intervening medium means it does not require any kind of medium. There is the net heat transfer by radiation between two surface at different temperature. Okay, just same kind of thing. Means if you will put any kind of body in your environment, it will emit some kind of heat. It will absorb. If surface temperature it is higher, in the radiation lecture we have already seen, if your surface temperature it is higher, then what it does? Wait. At this moment here T1 it is higher. T1 it is higher than your ambient temperature. But if your body it is cold body, what it does? It will absorb all the heat if your surrounding temperature it is higher. Okay. This is the basic mechanism of the radiation and conduction, convection and radiation. Now we will go through one by one that how the conduction it is taking place, and this is the very fundamental. You have to see what is happening in molecular level, because in theoretical it is okay that there is some kind of heat is transferring from one position to the another position, but how it is transferring? So we will check how it is transferring. Now the conduction, we should immediately look up the concept of atomic and molecular activity. As I already told, molecular activity, because the process at these levels sustain this mode of heat transfer. Conduction may viewed as the transfer of the energy from more energetic to the less energetic particle of the substance due to interaction between the particles. Okay, just what I am saying I will tell. If you have this is slab or any kind of sheet. Okay, this is your slab, and here if you will check here the temperature, this temperature T1 and this is temperature T2. Here temperature it is very high, T1 is very higher than T2. Now how the heat transfer will occur? You are claiming that heat will flow in this direction, but how the temperature gradient and the profile will come? And one more thing, in the last assignment I've seen that few people, if you have composite body, okay, any kind of composite body, give me a moment. If you have any kind of composite body, if it have the different kind of thermal conductivity, like this is your iron, I'm writing here Fe only. If it is any kind of your ceramic kind of material, I'm writing for C. If it is any kind of SS kind of SS steel, okay. Now see here, iron have higher thermal conductivity. Okay, then if you are talking about the that the temperature gradient profile, it will transmit the more heat transfer. And it have the slab, means ceramic material or any kind of activated carbon material, it will, the heat transfer or it will be lower, slope will be lower. If you'll check the slope, this particular slope will be lower, and here it is all, it will be higher. When it is SS, stainless steel, or you can say this is gold, okay, AU gold, then here the heat transfer will be very high. In your question, I was in the third, in your third or fourth assignment, what people, how people make this temperature profile like this. This is not the profile. It will be depend on your thermal conductivity, the material which have high tendency to transmit energy from one position to the another position, like any kind of metal, like any kind of gold or any kind of material. It, the slope will be very gradual decrease in this particular region. It will be depend on your material length thickness. So there should, you have to show, when you are drawing any kind of material, you have to show some kind of deviation. Okay, don't like, don't make a straight line. Okay, this is I found in your that assignment 4, I think. Okay, here how the heat will transfer from this point to this point. Around the surface there will be some kind of molecule at your heated body. Okay, around the surface, and here it will be also some kind of material by adjacent to this layer. This is your heated body. What it does, it will at this means at this particular position, the all the atoms, all the molecule will have some kind of energy, definitely, because this region it is heated, it is hot, means it has some kind of energy in term of heat. What it will do, either it will make it in equilibrium, or it means it will try to make equilibrium condition. But how it will make the equilibrium condition, either gaining energy or releasing energy. There is the two chance, either it will gain energy or it will release energy. You have given some kind of energy at this particular surface, at this particular layer, or at this particular molecule here in the whole region, in the heated region. This particular around the surface, all the atom, all the molecule get heated, and they want at equilibrium state. For that, either they will emit or they will absorb heat. But here no chance of absorbing heat. Here it is heated, means it will, it have already absorbed heat, definitely it will emit. For emission, it is higher temperature, so definitely it will emit in lower direction, means it will release energy in lower degree temperature of molecule, means here the molecule adjacent to layer, it will have the lower energy. It will transfer energy to nearby that molecule. After that, what will happen? It get heated. This molecule get heated. What it will do? It will transmit to next atom or next set of layer of molecule. Okay, similarly it will happen, and it will reach up to here. But if you will see the temperature at the higher place, here the gradient will be very high, means temperature here T1 will be very high. If I will write T sorry, here it is, I have written T2, let me write here T11, T12, T13. If you will determine the difference between from this to this and this to this and this to this, it will show in decreasing trend like this. Means this graph particular justify, and it will show that here the temperature, this particular zone, here it is higher temperature, and it is here it is lower temperature. Okay, and this process will be happen up to it will become straight line, means it all the molecule will want to maintain at a equilibrium, each and every person, because they don't need any some kind of higher energy or some kind of much more chaotic thing in your life. Same thing, if the molecule have some kind of energy, definitely it want to release, it want to deliver some kind of energy, or if you will give some higher energy, so it will absorb more, it will absorb more. Okay, but you have to maintain, it will try to maintain the equilibrium position. Okay, this was the mechanism how the heat transfer will occur into through the conduction. Now in the conduction, as I already told, each and every point should be in stagnant position. Now you can see, due to the random molecular motion, here it is a higher temperature, and here it is T1 it is higher and T2 it is lower. The Q will flow from this direction to this direction. Now you can see the temperature profile will be like this only. Okay, and same thing will occur into a liquid as well, same, but all the atoms or molecule will be closely spaced, and same thing will also occur in solid. But in solid there is 2 to 3 phenomena, additional phenomena, like in the solid, conduction occur may attribute to atomic activity in presence of lattice vibration. What does that mean, lattice vibration? And modern view is to ascribe the heat transfer to the lattice wave induced by atomic motion. Okay, there is the, for the solid there is the two more phenomena, two more mechanisms. One is that if you have some kind of plate, what is the meaning of lattice? If you have iron, it have its own predefined structure, like it may be hexagonal, it may be cubical, it will be depend on the size. All the crystal structure of any kind of atom or any kind of molecule can be justified by lattices. Lattice, this word generally people use to determine the crystal structure, means how your material is look like, and these things are fundamental, means this is already predefined. We generally identify the position of the iron or gold or any kind of but fundamental, not any kind of alloy, only fundamental, which is present in your IUPAC system. Okay, so it generally determined into alpha, beta and gamma. Three position, means alpha, beta, gamma means if you have any kind of cube, if you are claiming that iron it is 1 1 1, means A will be, alpha will be 1, beta will be 1, gamma will be 1. Your molecule will be in this particular phase. Okay, I think you have got little bit idea that these things based on your crystal structure. If you are claiming your iron it is in this position, then you can make the geometry as per your uh, as as per the material. Okay, leave it these things. I have just given an idea what is the meaning of that crystals, sorry, lattices. Just keep in your mind when somebody will ask lattice, means he is talking about in the molecular atomic structure of a compound of an atom, and which is already predefined. Generally we are, if you want to make any kind of alloy for the heat transfer or any kind of system, so you have to check at what position iron or SS, stainless steel or any kind of alloy or comes in the cubical or hexagonal, different kind of structure. Okay, now in the lattice, if this is your molecule, I am assuming this is your iron. Okay, lattice vibration means it has some kind of energy. It want to transfer from this position to this position where it is lower temperature. There is the one probability, either it can rotate like this, or by vibration means it will vibrate. There will be some kind of vibration. Either it will be some kind of rotation or there will be some kind of vibration. Based on two phenomena, it is transferring the heat. Let me show one video. Now see what we are saying. This is your any kind of heat. Now you can see all the molecule which is in vibration, and when it absorb heat from any kind of heated source, now you can see there is a lot of vibration. This is called as the lattice vibration, and all the heat will transfer from this direction to this direction. Okay, now see once again, it will become red, and now you can see heat, it is transferring from this position to this position. Okay, and you can see the vibration as well. There is a lot of vibration, and it will transmit energy from this by striking here, each and everywhere there will be some kind of a strike, or you can say the vibration. It will help in the transfer of energy. Now this is called as the conduction. Okay, and another the mechanism will be the transfer of the free electron. That the free electron means it will have, if it have some kind of charge or any kind of energy, then it will transmit from higher to lower. Now what will happen in the gases? In the case of gases, the mechanism of heat conduction, it is very simple. Kinetic energy of the molecule is the function of temperature. Means kinetic energy, what does that mean? If it will have some kind of energy, then definitely it will transfer energy to nearby the molecule or surrounding surface by applying some kind of force, which will be in term of kinetic energy. Okay, it will have some kind of temperature, it will transfer energy nearby that molecule, and based on that, in the gases, heat transfer will occur. These molecules are in a continuous or random motion, exchanging energy and movement. Okay, this is in random position. But in the solid, in any kind of sheet or any kind of slab, here position will be fixed, but heat will be transferred through electron transfer and by the lattice vibration. In the liquid, the mechanism of the heat transfer in the liquid will be same, but here the molecule will be in compact manner in the liquid. Okay, I think you have got the how the heat transfer or the how the conduction will occur into gas, liquid and solid. Now this is the very famous law, Fourier's law, heat conduction. Fourier's law, heat conduction, the rate of flow of heat through a simple homogeneous solid is directly proportional to the area of the section at the right angle to the direction of the flow and to change of the temperature with respect to length of the path of the heat flow. What does that mean? Means Q, the heat which is transferring from one position to this position. If it is your slab, it will be depend on your area, how much is the area, this particular area, whole region, and it will be depend on how much heat is transferring with respect to the position delta T by delta X. If you will cut a small segment between this plate, this will be your delta X, and temperature difference will be from this position to this position. Okay, and this will be delta T, T1 minus T2, T1 minus T2 divided by how much will be this distance delta X. Okay. And if you will open this proportional, what it will be? Q equal to minus Ka delta T by delta X. K will be the thermal conductivity, or you can say now the constant of the proportionality, as also known as the thermal conductivity of the body. And as I already told, it will depend on your material. If you will, I will show you for a few example. Now you can see this is the temperature profile, temperature gradient profile. This is the temperature T1, it is higher temperature, and heat, it is transferring from this position to this position. T1 minus T2, this is L, and it is the function of X, delta T by delta X. And these are the assumptions. The following are the assumptions on which the Fourier's law is based on. Conduction of heat takes place under a steady state condition. One, it is steady state condition. Second, heat flow in unidirectional means in one directional flow, the temperature gradient is constant. Okay, and the temperature profile is linear. What does that mean? Means your temperature profile will be linear like this. Okay, there is no internal heat generation. Internal heat generation means there is there is no chemical reaction in the inside the plate. If there is any kind of reactions, it is happening due to that internal heat that can be generated, or any kind of material which can explode or which can release the energy by absorbing the heat, so you cannot apply. It is written there is no internal heat generation. The bounding surface are isothermal in character. Okay, the material is homogeneous and isotropic, means your material should be homogeneous. It will be the mixture, or it will be a uniform material like your iron, gold, or any kind of sheet. Okay, some essential features. It is applicable to all matter. As I already told, you can apply for solid, liquid, gas. Each thing, it is based on experimental evidence and cannot be derived from the first principle, because this is itself, it is a fundamental theory. It is a fundamental theorem, Fourier's law of heat conduction, because based on area, which is proportional to the area and which is proportional to the delta T by delta X, how much temperature it is transferring with respect to the position. Now it is a vector expression indicating that the heat flow is in the direction of decreasing temperature and is normal to the isotherm. And it helps to define the thermal conductivity, of course. Okay, now we will moving ahead. We will talk about thermal conductivity. First, we will talk about the unit. Now you can see K is equal to Q by A delta X by delta T. You put all these things, you will get the value of watt per meter Kelvin, watt per meter degree centigrade. This is the unit. Okay, and what is the definition? The amount of energy, just read this expression, and that this is the fundamental form, that the theory. The amount of energy conducted through a body of unit area with unit thickness in unit time, when the difference in the temperature between phases causing the heat flow is unit temperature difference. Okay, this is the definition of this expression. This is the definition. This is nothing but this is the definition. Little bit about the thermal conductivity, but how you can define the thermal conductivity? I mean, this is the general formula, but how you will predict based on your material, means it will be depend on the material property. Now you can see thermal conductivity of silver, it is very high, means it will transfer more energy as compared to other kind of material. Glass wool, now you can see it is very low thermal conductivity. If you go any kind of industry, like your any kind of industry, any pharmaceutical industry, your any kind of lab, research lab, generally people use glass wool to control the heat transfer. Glass wool, now you can see the thermal conductivity is very low, 0.03 in comparison to all here. You can see it have very low thermal conductivity. So we generally apply this kind of material around the jacket, in the form of jacket, or around any kind of reactor to control the heat transfer. Okay. Okay, now this is the thermal resistance. Thermal resistance means there is some kind of resistive kind of thing, like in liquid there will be a viscous force. It applies some kind of resistive force to one layer of fluid to another layer of fluid, and here the resistance, which is called as the R. How you will define? The temperature difference between delta T by Ka. This is your formula, and this particular term which will you will say this is the thermal resistance. this particular term. It comes from Fourier's law of heat conduction. And if what he did here, what we want to show here, we are comparing with an electrical circuit. Current is equal to the potential difference divided by how much is the resistance. And same thing for the heat transfer. If you have any kind of material, the temperature difference means delta T1 minus T2, and heat will transfer from this position to this position. And how much is the resistance? And resistance will be depend on your, now you can see thermal conductivity. First of all, K, thermal conductivity means which kind of material property like density, viscosity, each and everything will be depend on, this is the intrinsic property. Okay, and it will be depend on your area as well. If you will increase the area, heat transfer will be very lower. Okay, I think you have there is in our childhood there was one story, Birbal ki khichdi. Means what it does, if you will put a pot which is very far from, this is your burner, this is your pot. If you will put a burner, or the distance between pot and burner, if it is very large, you cannot claim that heat transfer will occur. Okay, but it will be when it will be closer in your household. If you will check in your gas burner, the distance between your plate and that your bowl or you any utensils with your that stove, the distance is very less. Distance is very less. This distance is very less. This is your burner, and this is your bowl or any kind of utensil. So the distance is very less. If you will increase this distance, means heat transfer will be very lower. So this property area, it is depend on your where you want to transfer and how much is the thickness of the slab or your seat, or where you want to transfer the heat, this particular region area. And this is the delta X, means what is the infinitesimally small position where it is changing. If we will take the distance here, delta X, it will be depend on this position as well. Okay, then this is the rheology between the that electric circuit with respect to your heat transfer. In the electric circuit, this is the difference between potential difference divided by the resistance. And here for the heat transfer, it is the difference of temperature difference from this particular area higher to lower divided by delta X by Ka. Okay, and this formula just keep in your mind, delta X divided by Ka. This now you can see they have prepared like this. This is the resistance. Okay, we have also discussed few numericals in the earlier class. Now the convection is very large. Okay, now we will try to finish. And what is the meaning of the convection? That the convection heat transfer mode is comprised of the two mechanisms. What are the mechanisms? One will be your random molecular motion, or you can say the diffusion, and energy it is also transferred by the bulk or motion of the fluid. And in the earlier the conduction term, only the random molecular motion was there, lattice vibration, or that the electron transfer, that thing was there. But in the case of convection, what will happen? The random molecular motion and the bulk motion. What does that mean? If you have any kind of plate, this is plate, it is heated plate. When the heat will transfer, if you will draw the velocity, profile, it will be like this only, correct? Means you will say here the velocity will be very zero, but in the case of heat transfer will be totally different, like this, because this particular region, it have the higher temperature, it has the higher temperature. So here the temperature will be very high, and if you will moving ahead, here will be loss, here will be the more heat loss. Okay, you can say the resistance. And what are the principle? Here the random molecular motion, definitely adjacent to the layer, adjacent to the surface, here will be the surface will act as a convection, sorry, act as a conduction. How conduction? Because this particular region will be completely compact, and one layer and the adjacent layer will be coincide with each other, and they will act as a conduction at this surface, at the nearby this 2 to 3 layer, hardly 2 to 3 layer, this part. That's why the term use here random molecular motion, means here the diffusion will occur due to conduction at this particular surface, 1 to 3 layer. After that, what will happen? Here you can see same here, velocity will increase. As the velocity will increase, means some kind of moving thing will happen here. Due to that, call as the motion of the fluid. Heat will transfer due to motion of the fluid. Okay, all both phenomena comes into that. In the convection, nearby surface there will be the random molecular motion, as I already told, nearby surface only, 2 to 3 layer, not more than 2 to 3 layer, nearby surface only, this particular nearby surface. After that, what will happen? Due to the motion of the fluid or the motion of the liquid, heat will transfer. Okay, now you have got little bit about that the gradient, and here velocity boundary layer, I think I have drawn, and thermal boundary layer, same thing, thermal boundary layer. Okay, and the convection heat transfer mode is sustained both by random molecular motion and by bulk motion of the liquid within the boundary layer. Okay, now you see here velocity distribution, temperature distribution, each and everything is, I think it will be clear to you. I think these things we have already discussed. The velocity will be zero. Why velocity will be zero? Because you are assuming no slip condition here. And here, as I already told, nearby surface conduction will occur. Why conduction will occur? Due to the random molecular motion. As you are already claiming here. Here, the convection. Where is the mechanism? Due to the random molecular motion. So, it convection have little bit similar, not similarity, little bit uh, adjacent to the surface, this particular region, random molecular motion will occur, random molecular motion. After that, the bulk diffusion, the term they are using, bulk diffusion or the bulk motion of the fluid will occur. This is called as the convection. Okay, now we will see what is the difference between that what is the different type of heat transfer. There is the four type of that the convection. One is the forced convection, natural convection, boiling, and condensation. Okay, we will check one by one how it is happening and what is the working principle. Okay, the convection heat transfer may be classified according to the nature of the flow, where the fluid, if it is flowing. We speak of forced convection when the flow is causing by some kind of external mean, like any kind of fan, pump, atmospheric wind. As an example, the use of a fan to provide the forced convection air cooling, or the any kind of heat electrical component on a stack of printed circuit board. Okay, on contract of the free convection flow, it is the buoyant force which are due to the density difference caused by the temperature variation in the liquid. For an example, the vertical array of circuit board of air. What it is saying, that if you apply some kind of air or any kind of external force, the heat will transfer. And here, what is the working principle? This is the based on density. When you will heat this surface at this particular region, this particular surface, this, here the density around the surface will be very low at this particular region. Density will be very low due to the density, lower density or density difference, the lower density air will move in upward direction. This is called as the natural convection. Without applying any kind of external force, it will move ahead in the upward direction, which is called as the buoyancy driven flow. Buoyancy driven flow means density will be very low. If density will be very low at this particular region, what will happen? It will replace by this lower air, or you can say adjacent layer of the air, and based on that heat will transfer from this position to this position in this direction. This is the natural convection. But in the forced convection, you are going to apply some kind of pump or air. And as I already told in in the last class, I think I have shown you that this is the picture of sorry, this is the picture of your transformer. It's the picture of your transformer, and you see, wait, these are the long stacks are there. This is called as fins, fins. What is the working principle of fins? You see here, you could not find any kind of gases, any kind of external source to transfer heat. What is the working principle? Same, all the fin will get heated due to the heat transfer, due to the heat emitted by this particular equipment. What will happen due to the density difference? Due to the density difference, or if it is wind is blowing, it is okay. Otherwise, due to the natural convection, the particular region which get heated, here there will be the density will be lower at that particular region. Due to the density difference, the hot flow or hot air will move in the upward direction, and the fresh air which will come here. Due to both natural and the free, force and the free, both come here in the transformer. That's why in the last class we were discussing about that it is work on the principle of both natural convection and your force convection both. If wind will blow, definitely there will be force convection. If wind is not there at around the fin, then natural convection will work on that region. Okay, now here boiling as well. When you will apply some kind of heat around the surface, conduction will occur. Then after, the bubble will form, it will transfer in the heat into the upward direction. Okay, this is called as the condensation. Means you will apply some kind of cold air from inside of the tube. What will happen? Due to the temperature difference, here will be, you will find some kind of bubble, liquid bubble. Due to the heat transfer, means around the surface it is heated, but inside the tube it is very cold. So due to the temperature difference, you find some kind of bubble, liquid bubble, or you can say some kind of liquid droplet, not bubble, liquid droplet around the surface, This is also come into category of convection heat transfer. Okay, I think you have got an idea that if you're talking about the convection, 4 type of convection: free, force, or you can say free, it is also called as the natural, free or natural, force convection, boiling, and condensation. And here, if you want to derive the formula, here is the Newton's law of cooling, which is very famous fundamental formula. Now you can see Q is equal to H. It is your how much the heat transfer, convective heat transfer you can say, or yes, convective heat transfer. A will be your area, and TF means how much fluid is transferring from solid surface to your fluid surface, or means how much fluid will transfer from solid to that flowing medium that which is in flowing condition. Q is equal to HA TF minus TF. Okay. If I want to determine the coefficient of convective heat transfer, then H is equal to Q divided by A TF minus TF. Here the unit is watt per meter square degree centigrade, but the K is the unit. What is the unit of K? K is watt per meter Kelvin or watt per meter degree centigrade. If you will compare C and K, here it is depend on only length, and but here it is depend on your how much is the area. Okay, this is the difference between H and K. Okay. Okay, same thing we can derive for that resistance as well. Here will be the 1 by HA, temperature difference. Q is equal to HA delta T. This is the formula, basic formula. If you will determine Q is equal to resistance in term of resistance, how much will be the temperature difference and how much will be the resistance, then it will be 1 by HA. Okay. And here the resistance, how much it will be? Resistance will be 1 by HA. Okay, this is the resistance for the convective heat transfer. Okay, this is the formula 1 by HA. Okay, so we have finished conduction and convection. On the next class, we will talk about radiation and radiation. Okay. Yes. Yes, on the next class, and one more request, please just read once. If you find any query, just let me know. And one more announcement that read your first and second unit, and probably I will set all the questions, and question will come from that segment only. Okay, and just read the notes very carefully. Then only you would be able to answer. Okay, just keep in your mind. Anyone, any query, please tell. Just go through my notes, unit 1, unit 2, each and everything. I have finished each and everything. If you find any query, just let me know. Just text me or mail me, whatever you like, and I will try. And there is one more thing, that in the last class somebody was asking there for assignment and all. I will try to, definitely I will try to finish, and I will try to finish that all corrections. Okay, don't worry. Okay, start reading your that unit 1 and unit 2.